Former President Biden's cancer diagnosis. The president put out a very nice message on Truth Social. Has he talked to President Biden directly? Does he intend to call? What does he intend to say directly?
Not to my knowledge. I don't believe they have spoken, but I'm sure the president would be open to doing that. I spoke to him last night about the former president's cancer diagnosis, and the statement that he put out was the initial reaction he had with me on the phone as well. Peter.
Follow up on former President Biden. White House doctors may have missed the early stages of his prostate cancer. So is President Trump worried about the quality of care that presidents get here?
Not as far as President Trump is concerned. The White House physician we have here is phenomenal, and the team of physicians that take care of the president, particularly at Walter Reed Medical Center, are great. The president had his physical recently, as you know. He had perfect results. He's in very good shape. I think those of you who traveled to the Middle East with us last week can attest to the president's endurance. And by the way, I will add, we returned home from a very long and...
We don't care. We don't care. Listen. This is not only to the Trump administration, but to media and everyone. Y'all couldn't even give it 24 hours. 24 hours. The man came public with having aggressive cancer, and you couldn't give it 24 hours. All right? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to the channel. It's another video. I know. What's today? Tuesday? Monday? Today's Monday, all right? The 19th. Monday, May 19th, 2025. And everyone talking about it. Everyone knows. Joe Biden is diagnosed with cancer, and of course, the Trump administration, including Donald Trump Jr., has made this a political standpoint to talk about conspiracy theories, and it's pretty embarrassing. Because I'm going to start off by saying this. If Trump, no matter how much I hate his policies and what he stands for, if he got diagnosed today with aggressive prostate cancer, I would show him the same respect that I'm saying you should show Joe Biden right now. I would not go in there trying to politicize him. I would say, hey, no man should have to go through this. No person in general should have to go through any type of sort of cancer. It's a bearing. What's the correct word? It's hard on the family. Is what I'm trying to say. It's something that the family has to go through, and they should be able to go through it without public attacks of what happened, when it happened, and how far did they know. It has no point now. He's out of office. But once again, we got people who cannot seem to have respect for people. And it's on the Republican side. For instance, let me show you this picture right now. Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr. is definitely the first on my list with people who just need to shut up. All right? He posted on X. What I want to know is, how did Dr. Jill Biden miss stage 5 metastatic cancer, or is it just another cover-up? Shut up. Shut up. With all disrespect, shut up. Why does this matter? Why does this matter? First of all, you're not a doctor. And then we got a far right-winger, Clint Russell. He posted on Twitter. This is less than 24 hours of the man knowing that he has, aggressive prostate cancer. So the plan was to run Biden, lie about his cancer and dementia, get him back into the White House, and then immediately step aside so Kamala could reign. So Kamala, reign of terror could begin, all while trying to jail and kill Donald Trump. Just making sure we're all on the same page here. These people are evil. This man was just diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer. He's probably not going to make it too long. He's probably not going to make it past 5 years. And this is what we're doing. And then who co-signs this? Elon Musk. If you see right below, Elon Musk, he co-signed it. This man owns X. And he's co-signing this and reposting things and conspiracy theories in less than 24 hours. And it gets better. Let's see how J.D. Vance responded to this news.
First of all, of course, we wish the best for the former president's health. And, it sounds pretty serious, but hopefully he makes the right recovery. Like I will say, whether the right time to have this conversation is now or at some point in the future. It's not now. We really do need to be honest about whether the former president was capable of doing the job. And that's no, that you can separate the desire for him to have the right health outcome with the recognition that whether it was doctors or whether there were staffers around the former president, I don't think he was able to do a good job for the American people. And that's not politics. That's not because I disagreed with him on policy. That's because I don't think that he was in good enough health. In some ways, I blame him less than I blame the people around him. And why didn't the American people have a better sense of his health picture? Why didn't the American people have more accurate information about what he was actually dealing with? This is serious stuff. And this is the guy who carries around the nuclear football for the world's largest nuclear arsenal. This is not child's play, and we can pray for good health, but also recognize that if you're not in good enough health to do the job, you shouldn't be doing the job.
All right, JD Vance, take off the eyeliner and shut your face and listen to some facts. He was just diagnosed with prostate cancer on Friday. Last Friday, okay? That does not mean he had prostate cancer all the way through his presidency, okay? That's not what that means. Now, I've been on here on YouTube, on other platforms as well, and said, hey, he's losing it mentally. But that has nothing to do with prostate cancer. I agree that he should not have been in office, or take that back, he should not have ran for a second term because you can see his health declining. I agree with that. But it had nothing to do with prostate cancer. That was more of a mental capacity, and I could tell he was not physically capable from a mental standpoint. But I'm not a doctor, but let's look at some facts, okay? This is from the stjohnsoncancer.org. This is describing cancer right here, as you can see. And if we look at the chart of what he was diagnosed with, which is highly aggressive prostate cancer, he falls in group 5. All right? It is highly aggressive, rapidly growing, and high risk. What that means is, if it's rapidly growing, it can happen like that, and it can spread like that, and then you can be on your way to see your God in a blink of an eye. You just don't know. Or you can survive. People have survived. I have lost family members to stage 4 cancer, and it happened within 3 months. They was diagnosed, was going through treatment, passed away. 3 months. You don't know. So to politicize this and make it seem like he just recently, to politicize this and make it seem like through his whole, time in office, from the 8 years of being a VP, from 4 years of being a president, that he had cancer and couldn't do the job, it's not only inaccurate, it's also, it comes from a place of discernment. It comes from a place of pure evil, in my opinion. It comes from a place of, let's take advantage of this and make sure we keep our mega cult members in line, and this is a formal way of doing it. To say, look, we've been right the whole time. When you're not a medical professional, I'm not a medical professional, we couldn't just give the man the respect he deserved. And this is the issue I have with the Republican Party at times, especially the far right. MAGA cult members, I'll always separate MAGA and Republicans, because there are some old school Republicans that I can discuss things with as far as policies and things, but when it comes to MAGA, I just have no tolerance for it. I have no tolerance for it. All right, if you're still here, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think they should have given more time? Do you think the conspiracy theories are correct? Let me know in the comments. If you're still here, I'll see you next video.